Shalom, shalom. Another impromptu video regarding deities, because we're in the fa-la-la-la-la season, the one they call Christmas. Yeah. And we are not about that, us being Israelites, Hebrew Israelites. We're not about these Babylonian and these Canaanite and these Egyptian and these Greco-Roman deities. This one is called fertility cults of Canaan. If you know about Canaan, we was told to go in and kill all the Canaanites, all their animals, everything in Canaan we're supposed to put to death. Yeah. Canaan now is the land of Israel. Yeah, because obviously we're the Israelites, and we're the Lord designated that land for us. So we are the Israelites, and that land now is called Israel because the blacks, Hispanics and native Indians was given that land by the Lord. Okay, so it says here, fertility cults of Canaan. It says, only recently have scholars begun to unravel the complex religious rituals of Israel's Canaanite neighbors. Much of our knowledge of the origins and character of these fertility cults remains tentative and widely debated. What we do know reveals dark, seductive practices that continue to entice the people God had chosen to be his witnesses, the origins of Judaism, right? Judaism is what the modern day Jewish, those Ish people practice. We don't practice Judaism. We are the Israelites. We keep the laws, statutes and commandments, the 600 and whatever commandments the Lord gave us. We keep them because we was given them. We made a covenant, an agreement with the one they call God, whose name is Yahweh, and his son Yahweh Shai, who he sent to buy us back, to bring us back. His blood was shed to bring us back, okay, to the Lord. Yeah. And we had neighbors that were the Canaanites, yeah, in the land now. Yeah. So it says, the people of Israel developed their faith in the wilderness. Yeah. No, we didn't develop our faith in the wilderness because we was given the law, statutes and commandments even from the time of Adam, the people he chose out of the Adamites. He gave us law, statutes and commandments. That's how we knew Adam knew to bring clean beasts and unclean beasts into the ark, right? So he knew it wasn't written, it was verbal, okay? It was verbally given to him. So these commandments have been about from the time the Lord chose people out of Adam, okay? And it says, Abraham lived in the Negev desert where God made his covenant of blood with him and sealed it with circumcision. That's why there's a law that the Israelites have to be circumcised. That is a covenant we made, okay? And those Jewish people called it, what's it called? Mavitzah or something? Where the rabbi will bite the skin off of the young boy and suck the blood out of his penis. Where's that in the Bible? Yeah? These people are wicked, man. These fake Jews, yeah? So it says here, Moses met God in a burning bush in the desert, where he learned the greatness of Yahweh's name and received the commission to bring the Hebrews out of Egypt, the Israelites, because Hebrew, we've got all types of Hebrew. Even the white man who's Edom is a Hebrew. The Chinese, the Japanese, the East Indians, the Arabs, they're all Hebrews. They're Hebrews, whatever. Hebrew, Ishmaelite, Hebrew, Edomite, Hebrew. Babylon the Great, full of confusion. Yeah? Right, so not Hebrews, Israelites, okay? Like I said, we've got different Hebrew families, okay? So it says here, I'll say commissioned to bring the Israelites out of Egypt, okay? God spoke to his people on Mount Sinai, yeah, and re-established his covenant with them in the 10 commandments. They're just the foundational commandments. There's over 600 laws, statutes and commandments, okay? And you can read that through the 5 books of Moses, you know, Genesis, Deuteronomy, Numbers, and so forth and so on, yeah? The 5 books, the first 5 books is called the Torah, yeah? Torah means laws, I think, and it says here, throughout the Israelites, yeah, 40-year journey in the wilderness, the Lord accompanied them. That was in a chariot, and they called it a cloud. They called it a fire in the sky, you know. These were the vehicles, what the angels traveling, and that's what the Lord's coming back in. And the white man calls them UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomenon. They used to call them UFOs. All right, so this is what protected us. It was a cloud by day and a fire by night, okay? What guided us out of Egypt. And it says, and protected them, fed us, the Israelites, and guided them to the promised land, the land of Canaan, yeah? There was no doubt that they put Yahweh, which Yahweh was God of the wilderness. And it says, we read about, my last lesson was about Baal, and it says Yahweh or Baal. Nope, his name is Yahweh. Baal is the entity what these other heathens worship, yeah? It says, when the Israelites entered Canaan, they found a land of farmers, not shepherds as they had been in the wilderness. The land was fertile beyond anything the Israelite nomads had ever seen, because that's the land what said is going to flow with milk and honey. Okay, when the Lord comes back, we're going back to that land. That's our land. You got those fake Jews out there claiming to be us, yeah? And it says, fertile, and it says the Israelites' problems began. Could the God who had led them out of Egypt and through the wilderness also provide fertile farms in the promised land? Or would the fertility God of Canaan have to be honored? Maybe, to be safe, they should worship both Yahweh and Baal. No, because the Lord said, you should have no other gods before me. This is one of our commandments. This is one of the commandments he gave us, right? Which is the first commandment. We shall have no other God before him, yeah? So, no, we shouldn't worship Baal. Even Christmas is the worship of Baal. So our people are worshipping Baal. But us Israelites, the woken ones, the 1/3, and the elect, I should say, the elect are not worshipping none of these deities. We don't do birthdays. We don't do none of these idol worships. We only worship Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, the one they call God and Christ. That's the only ones what need to be praised, okay? And it says, an intense battle began for the minds and hearts of God's chosen people. Of God's people. The book of Judges records the ongoing struggles, the Israelites' attraction to the worship of the Canaanite gods. So there's nothing new under the sun. All we're doing now is worshipping the gods of antiquity, because the white man, in my last lesson, we went into Christmas, his deities, he worships Adonis, he worships the gods of the ancient times, because he has no culture, he's a culture vulture, yeah? Like the Alexander the Freak, he took over the name of the Greeks. The Greeks were the Minoans and the Etruscans. Today, you'll call them Aborigines and Fijians and them people of the islands, yeah? Pacific Islands, yeah? And it says, let's read on. And it says, the Israelites' attraction to the worship of the Canaanite gods, God's disciplinary response, the people's repentance, and God's merciful forgiveness until the next time the Israelites reached for Baal instead of Yahweh, right? Because our people would always go off, yeah? That's what got us in this situation we're in now, because we always went a-whoring after other gods, yeah? Hard-headed people. And it says here, under the kings, this spiritual battle continued. By the time of Ahab and Jezebel, we know about the story of her, she got her ass eaten by dogs, the fertility cults appeared to have the official sanction over Israel's leaders. Because our leaders always sell out, yeah? Majority of them anyway, sell out. Ahab, with his wife, encouragement, built a temple to Baal, yeah? Satan, basically, at his capital, Samaria. All, I think Samaria was that was the northern, where the northern kingdom resided. I'm sure Ahab was a northern kingdom, yeah? And it says all, in the capital, Samaria, all the while, prophets like Elijah, which means Yahweh is God, yeah? Isaiah, and Jeremiah thundered that Yahweh alone deserved the people's alliance, right? Because these were prophets, yeah? God spoke to these men, whether in a vision or in a dream, yeah? And it says, it took the Assyrian destruction of Israel and the Babylonian captivity of Judah to convince the Israelites that there is only one omnipotent God. Yep, omniscient, he knows everything, and he's everywhere, right? But we do have other gods. The Lord, like I explained that to one of my family members, that God gave all these other nations their gods to worship, but we are his people and we're supposed to worship him, okay, and no other gods. Like he says, you should have no other God before me, right? This struggle to be totally committed to God is of vital importance, because he is our shield and buckler. He's the one who protects us, yeah? And if you step out of his realm, you're subject to Satan and all these other deities. Blatantly just destruction, yeah? And it says, of vital importance to us today as well. We don't think of ourselves as idol worshippers, yet we struggle to serve God along in every part of our lives. Right? Because we're under Satan. The Edomites are ruling. So he puts obstacles in your way, so you tend to serve Satan. Like today, Christmas. Well, yesterday, Christmas. Yeah? These are all deities set up by the Caucasians. Like I said, they're taking on deities or representations of gods of antiquity. The Babylonians, the Egyptians, right? And he's made his own culture out of ancient cultures. I'm talking about the white man, the one who called himself the white man. But he's the Edomite of the Bible, yeah? We know him as Esau Edom, right? The devil, yeah? Right, and it says here, along the part, struggle to serve alone every part alone. It is easy and seductive to honor possessions, fun, relationships, fame, money, and honest of other potential gods. And host and a host of other potential gods. Okay, because like I'm saying, this society is set up on all these other deities, all these other gods, yeah? And it says, we need to learn from Israel's experience and respond to Yahushai's command for total alliance. One way we can accomplish this is to study the gods that attracted Yahweh's people 3,000 years ago. And where Christmas is a god 3,000 Babylonian god. Today we are practicing Babylonian customs. Like I said, because we're under our enemies. Yeah, this is how they keep us away from rulership. And this is how they stay in rulership, by keeping God's chosen, worshipping idols. Yeah? And it says, Canaan's gods, BAAL is one of them, right? The earliest deity recognized by the people of the ancient Near East was the creator god El. His mistress, the fertility goddess Asherah, gave birth to many gods, including a powerful god named BAAL, Lord. There appears to have been only one BAAL, yeah, who was manifested, sorry, it's jumping around, Satan jumping on it, manifested in lesser BAALs at different places and times. Different deities, Baal, Adonis, Ramesses, Tammuz, and so forth and so on. Okay? Over the years, Baal became a dominant deity and the worship of El faded. Baal won his dominance by defeating the other deities. Right? This is what they call there's a term for it. It's called what do they call that again? I forgot the term they call it. Where you worship deities what don't exist. You know what I'm talking about, people. And it says, I'm tired, you know, I'm walking. I've just come from sister's house, had some dinner and that, you know, and you just want to lay down and sleep after. When the baby belly full, it just lay down and yarn. Yeah, so I'm just doing this on the way home, so bear with me, people. It says here, therefore did worship El and faded. Baal won his dominance by defeating the other deities, including the god of the sea, Odin. Is it Odin? No, God, that's a different god. What's that god of the sea? I forgot his name. Oh, shit. The god of storms, also of rain, thunder, and lightning, and the god of death. Baal's victory over death was thought to be repeated each year when he returned from the land of death. Yeah. The underworld, Hades. Yeah. Bringing rain and renew the earth's fertility. Israelite culture viewed the sea as evil and destructive. So Baal's promise to prevent storms and control the sea, as well as his ability to produce abundant harvests, made him attractive to the Israelites. It's hard to know why Yahweh's people failed to see that he alone had power over these things. Possibly their desert origins led them to question God's sovereignty over fertile land. Or maybe it was simply the sinful pagan practices that attracted them to Baal. Yeah, because our people are just wicked. Yeah, they surpassed the deeds of the wicked. They took on all these deities when we had the living power with us. Yeah, it says here, Baal is portrayed as a man with a head and horns of a bull, right? Satan, basically. An image similar to that in biblical accounts. His right hand, sometimes both hands, is raised, one up, one down. Sometimes he holds a lightning bolt, signifying both destruction and fertility. Baal has also been portrayed seated on a throne, possibly as the king or lord of the gods, right? Let me pause it there because I want to do a